The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect those of the Barbers Chat Network, our great partners at H&B Media, or any of our media peers. We're just five idiots who love sports and love to talk shit. If you're offended easily, then this show isn't for you. And for those who aren't offended easily, sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Remember, it's only entertainment.
So cool.
Triple double hat trick, I know the code too. Ice trade, go for trade, yeah we cold too. Getting paper on these player haters, old news. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold. My agent just said we made 100 flat. Make it back and make it stack. This like no Steven Jack. Put my rings up in the camera like I needed that. Up in the air and at the rim is where I meet them at.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is your boy Scott. Welcome back to another edition of I'm Not Gonna Hold You. It is Monday, January 22nd, 2024, man. We are here to break down another weekend of great football, man. You know where to follow me on Twitter and Instagram at BarberChat Scott. You can follow the Barbers Chat Network at BarbersChatNet on Twitter and Instagram. And, of course, subscribe to our Patreon, patreon.com/Barbers Chat Network. You can get all exclusive clips for everybody. You get the audio. You get the extra show. I'm not going to hold you overtime. And, of course, our midweek show. I'm not going to hold you halftime, man. So check all of that out. And in overtime today, we will have my brother Flows, one half of 79th and Howless. He will be joining me as we will be talking about all Bears in the second hour. And that's good news for Courtney's here, so she ain't got to hear us complain about our favorite team doing regular hours. So it will be the four of us talking about that team. New offensive coordinator got signed today, so we're gonna be getting into all of that stuff, man. But I'm gonna bring in the gang right now as we're gonna just get right into it. How's everybody doing, man? What's going on?
It's rainy and dreary as hell here in Dallas. Like, I can't even see the buildings next to me. So we will not be going outside for the rest of the day.
Is it rainy everywhere? It's raining like a motherfucker here, too. It's been raining for the last 2 days.
Yeah. I mean, it's finally above 20 degrees here in Atlanta, so I can't complain. But I will say this real quick, random rant. Fuck League Safe. If you got a fantasy league, do not use League Safe. I won my fantasy league January 2nd. People, it's January 22nd. I still don't have my money. It's been all type of fluke shit going on. Hey, get some people. Somebody got a cash app you can trust. Leave it in there so we can just cash out after the finals. This is crazy.
Yeah, because that's rookie stuff. You always got to make sure when you're dealing with that, you got to get the money in hand before the season starts. Because especially at the end, people will not send you the money. They'll be like, yo, I never got that $100 buy-in. No. It's called a buy-in, not a buy after. I need you to buy in.
Oh, no, that's the bad part. Like, the money is in the account. It just hasn't been sent to my account. So, yeah,
because
fuck this website.
I'm about to say, is the website or is it niggas?
No, it's the website. My homies in the league held it down.
Instead of the website, that's the only. And sometimes you can't even trust people. It's crazy.
I have some tales, but we're not gonna talk about that.
Bang, how's it going out there in Chicago?
It is cold. Still a little snowy and shit out there. It rained a little bit, so it's gonna get cold. So that joint gonna turn into ice. But I got my new couch that I'm about to put up. So
it's nothing better than having a new couch. It's an
amazing feeling.
Oh yeah,
it's an amazing feeling.
I might do the pod from it, just kicking my feet up on the ottoman. You know what I'm saying?
I definitely feel that, man. It was raining super hard yesterday. My power went out for like 5 hours, and like. If it wasn't for my iPad in Peacock, where you can stream NFL Network,
$5.99 a month.
For $5.99 a month, I would have been screwed yesterday. So
I saw your text. I saw your text finally this morning because actually I went to sleep after halftime. I went to sleep because I was a bit upset because they didn't tie. So that messed up my parlay. So I was like, I don't give a damn about this game. I'm going to sleep.
Fuck these niggas, I'm going to bed.
Fuck these niggas, I'm going to sleep.
Yeah, I was in here like all the power went out, and then like first, I hate when you know when something goes off at first. So it went off like in the first quarter, like, but it was like one of them quick off ons. So I'm like, all right, cool. It came back on, we good. But it's raining hard as fuck outside, and so I'm like, all right, we should be good. About an hour and a half go by, and that shit just completely go out. And so then I called my landlord. I'm like, did the power go off for you? She's like, oh yeah, ain't no game for me, no game for you. I'm like, so what's the ETA? All I heard was click. I was like, okay. Like it's Sunday. Yeah, it's Sunday, so you don't want to work today. I was like, I had to call LA Department of Water and Power my damn self. And they was like, oh yeah, we back on at 6. So I'm in the corner of my apartment with a fucking chair with my iPad on there, looking like a fucking mental patient, balled up because the heat wasn't working for a little bit too. The gas was tweaking for a little bit. So I'm in the corner watching this damn game. And I'm good. You know what I'm saying? It's going through the whole day. Then, nigga, the sunset started coming about 5:15.
I was gonna say, you're in LA. It was like 5 o'clock. You can't go to like a fucking Starbucks, bro.
I'm not going to fucking Starbucks. Like,
I'm just saying, you're in LA, the home of like 10 million bars and I
don't want to be bothered with that. Courtney, how long have you known me? How much human interaction do I like being around? None.
Fair.
Like, and honestly, no, I was screwed because Pat Vs was in Miami. Pat Vs wasn't there. I just went to this nigga house. It'd been free wine, big TV, everything. No. I was like, no. And then shout out my nigga Damien. Damien live all the way in fucking Corona. I'm not going out there Corona. And by the time I go all the way out there, I'm spending $100 to get out there. And by the time I come back, my power on. So I just stay here. And I was like, hopefully it's on. It comes on before the sun go down. The sun started getting down, started getting darker. And I was like, nigga, I'm finna light a candle in this motherfucker or something. And as soon as like it started getting dark, my shit cut on, like right for the second half of the game. But besides that, I had a good weekend, had a nice chill weekend. I drank a lot of alcohol, which I did not advise. If anybody who's under 21 watching the show, alcohol is bad for you. You do not want to be drinking anything of that substance. Drink water. But it was a good week. Only thing that ruined it was the fucking Detroit Lions one, but we'll get into that later. Let's start this up with my sound off. You know what I'm saying? This was is something that I feel like too many people, well, not even too many people. One thing I learned about Twitter is that a lot of people will agree with you, but you always single out the motherfuckers who don't agree with you. And there was a lot of people who agree with my take and what I said. My thing was I said CJ Stroud and Jordan Love had great seasons this year, but the NFL is too much of a year-to-year league for us to be thinking it's just going to be a given. They're going to be right here next year. And a majority of the people agree with me. I say about 90 to 95% of the people agree with me. But you always know the little 5% dickheads that it just blows you, it just pisses you off. And there was just so many dumb comments. But really what I'm saying is this. You can't take the window or playoff appearances for granted in the NFL. This is not like the NBA. This is not like Major League Baseball, where it's a longer season and you have a longer window because these are a 7-game series to get in there. The NFL, you could be great one year and be ass the next. I mean, the fucking Eagles went to the Super Bowl last year with 10-1 and then completely fell off the map and lost to a team that if you'd have told us back in fucking August they'd have lost to, everybody would have laughed you out the building. Nobody expected them to lose to the damn anybody come out the NFC South. That's for damn sure. So you have that. Have a team like the Jaguars and everything that Trevor Lawrence was doing last year, and they completely flame out this year. The Texans were the worst team, one of the top 2 worst teams in football last year. These niggas won the division and was two wins away from making the fucking Super Bowl. So too much of a year-to-year league. So I'm not saying that CJ Stroud and the Texans won't be here next year. I'm not saying that Jordan Love and the Packers won't be here next year. I hope to God they not. But I'm not saying they won't. But what I'm saying is you have to understand that you have to take advantage of it. You know what I'm saying? You have to take advantage of every situation you got. And you can't just be like, I mean, it's a good thing to say like, oh, yeah, we're a young team. We can come back. Yeah, that's a good thing to say to the players. But if you're a fan and you're relying too much on that, you don't get your feelings hurt. You don't get your feelings hurt very, very quickly with this how quickly this league changes, man. And just even look at a team like the Buffalo Bills. We said last week, they don't get done this year when they're going to get it done. And now it's looking like who knows what's next for them, man. So my sound off is just don't take your window for granted. Just don't take it for granted and just, try to take advantage of every opportunity, man. How do y'all feel about what I said? Any counterpoints?
Nah, ain't enough for me. Like, this is the league where the Bears was like 13-3, and then the next year they was 3-13. So we've seen it personally. This is the league where you go to the Super Bowl, you lose, and you don't make it to the playoffs. So now you can't take it for granted. I mean, the biggest example of not taking it for granted is the fact that Dan Marino went to the Super Bowl in his second year, and they automatically assumed that Dan Marino was going to be a Super Bowl winning quarterback, that he was going to go to many Super Bowls and all of that, and he never made it back to another Super Bowl. If Dan Marino would have won a Super Bowl, Dan Marino would probably be classified as the greatest quarterback of all time, especially with all of the records that he has. But we're not talking about Dan Marino in that way. So, no, you're exactly right.
I just want to. There was one question, not a question, but shout out our guy Jay Hood. Said, Scott, can you confirm the rumors that you were a candidate for the DePaul job? We want to speak to my team. I will not be confirming or denying any particular job offers that might be coming in. But shout out to Jay Hood. We got to get you on the show. I will be hitting you up. Got to get you on the show. But anyway, let's go to our first topic. And my first topic, man, I said, not just us. I think it was me, Courtney, and Dan all said this on Friday, that the Bills had to get these motherfuckers now. And I said I picked the Bills, but I did not feel good about it. And I felt even worse about it when I think it's Dion, was it Dixon? The dude who played Dawson, who plays for the Dawkins.
The tackle.
Yeah, Dawkins. He said that, this is, good luck. He was getting real spicy. You don't want to poke the bear. You don't want to poke the bear. And he went out there and did exactly what I thought he was going to do. I think what all of us expected Patrick Mahomes out there to do. He went out there and it looked like he's finally figuring out just what to do. Well, as bad as this offense has been this entire year, I feel like these last two games, and you can say, what you want to say about the first game, because it was against Miami, and nobody expected anything from Miami, but against this good Bills defense on the road. And I know the Bills defense had a couple people that were injured, but 17-23, 215 yards, 2 touchdowns, and these were like explosive plays to Travis Kelce, and going out there and just really, we had big throws to Marquez Valdez-Scantling. I ain't seen him make a big play since fucking last year. And it was just something where, like, you see that he's starting to be the not start. I'm not saying that he's starting because he's been this, but I feel like it's really starting to be cemented because he did it on the road. He's got the Jordan, the Kobe, the Tom Brady of coming in here and ruining your fucking day. And it really doesn't matter about which team is better, X's and O's. There's a lot of reasons that the Bills lost that game. They don't have anything to do with Patrick Mahomes, and we will get into that later. But Pat, there's just no beating this nigga because he's just gonna find ways to rip your fucking heart out. And now I kind of feel like the worst thing for a juggernaut or, the best player in the league is to feel like he's an underdog. And that's what he felt like on Sunday. And that's what he's going to feel like this Sunday. Because everybody named Mama is going to be rooting for the Baltimore Ravens. And we'll be talking about Pat versus Lamar, which is the fate of the black community. We'll be talking about later in the show. And then I feel like it's going to get real crazy on Twitter if it ain't already. We're going to get into that. But this is something where it doesn't really matter to me what teams are. It's can you beat that guy? There's plenty of teams that the Patriots shouldn't have beat, but they did because of Tom Brady. And there's plenty of teams that, or plenty of MVPs. I know another thing we've heard was, I'm not putting Lamar's MVP. Yeah, Lamar's MVP. He won MVP. He's going to be 2-time MVP. He deserves it. But how many MVPs have lost to Michael Jordan? How many MVPs have lost to Tom Brady? How many MVPs have lost to Kobe Bryant? If you have that thing, sometimes it doesn't matter because the teams just go close and the equalizer is the great player. And that's just really what Patrick Mahomes is, man. He's inevitable. This is his era. This is a guy who has 13 playoff wins already, 6 straight AFC championship games. This nigga has never lost a game that wasn't a championship game or the Super Bowl. If he wins if he wins on Sunday, he ties Peyton Manning for most playoff wins. If he wins the Super Bowl, he passes Peyton Manning, gonna be 1 behind Joe Montana. And having said all, he'll still be 20 behind Tom Brady, which in perspective, it just puts just how crazy Tom Brady's run is. But in order to be on that trajectory to be the GOAT, he's on the right path. If he's doing all this soon. So my advice to everybody out there, and I'm not saying that the Ravens don't have no chance. I don't even know 100%, you know what I think the score is. I'm gonna pick the Chiefs. I'm just gonna be very transparent with y'all. I'm never going against Patrick Mahomes ever again. I'm just not. I learned my lesson. I'm never doing it again. You can hit me with every defensive stat you want, every win. I don't care. Can you? And that's just pretty much where I'm at with it, man. Courtney, I'm gonna go to you first. What you said the same thing that I said about you didn't feel good about picking against them, or you wasn't gonna pick against them. What did you see from Patrick Mahomes this week?
No, I had the same energy that Mikey had, that Bills money line, but I've always stood by the fact that until someone comes for the king, you come for the king, you best not miss, right? And the Bills have tried, I know we're going to get into that in a little bit. This is not the first time that we've seen this ending. The Chiefs are inevitable. And until someone beats the Chiefs with Patrick Mahomes, I don't care if he's throwing to Sky Moore and Rashee Rice, who quietly had a nice second half of the season. I'm not picking against Patrick Mahomes. It's just not happening. Home or on the road, it's not happening.
I'm gonna go to Bang next, man.
I messed up because I said, look, no, but it wasn't about Patrick Mahomes. It was about the wide receivers. And look, you saw what happened with that touchback too. They almost jagged it, fam. They almost jagged it for him, but it's one of those things where, yeah, I'm not picking against the Chiefs anymore. I'm not. But also it just shows how great Patrick Mahomes is. I watch TV and I watch Dan Orlovsky just really go into why this wasn't Josh Allen's fault and all this stuff and defending this man, but Josh Allen didn't make enough plays to win the game. And when you're at home, like this is not like they was in Kansas City. They wasn't in Arrowhead. They was at home. They was at a stadium where everybody was geeked just because there was so much snow in the stands. And the Chiefs are not going to be able to deal with this. And this is our time. Like, I bet you Buffalo was just walking around all week, just singing the most happiest songs in the world, just thinking that this time we got Patrick Mahomes. And they didn't. If not when, is going to be the question that everybody in the AFC, for the exception of the Baltimore Ravens, is going to have. Now, the difference between the Baltimore Ravens and the Buffalo Bills is this. I don't think the Ravens are scared of Patrick Mahomes. They look like they want to fight Patrick Mahomes before, during, and after the game. And you're coming to Baltimore, they're not going to be scared, and they're not going to take this lightly. The issue is, though, is still you're going up against Patrick Mahomes, and he's going to be confident until he ain't. And for him to have the wide receivers that he has, and he's still confident he's going to beat your ass, I don't know who beat that.
And this is the thing, too. You said they're not afraid. Who said this? I don't know if it was Mike Tyson or somebody. You ain't got to be afraid to get your ass kicked. Like
exactly, yeah.
I'm not afraid of a lot of shit. You can still get your ass beat. And I remember somebody tweeted me. Shout out one of my followers tweeted me yesterday. I wish I could remember the name. He said, "Lamar really wants it." Like, nigga, I want to impregnate Rihanna. Some shit just ain't gonna happen. Some shit just ain't gonna happen. It's just that goddamn simple. Dante, take us home with this topic, man.
First of all, you know how they say hindsight is 20/20. I think one of the silliest things about all of this is we really sat here and said that, oh yeah, going up to Buffalo, might be an advantage. Like they don't play in fucking Kansas City.
Right.
Like that was just foolish. Like that last game, it was like -26. Like
I blame the wide receivers. I ain't blame the weather.
Yeah, that's true. But like Pat, and we're gonna get into this later about, we talk about guys who can, you win because of them and you win. And I think Pat is the only one in the league where at this point, I think it doesn't matter who you put him around. Like everybody said, I'm not picking against Pat ever, really. If I'm being honest, if you look at a lot of the losses, his offensive line was decimated when they played Tampa Bay, and he was getting DDT through tables the whole damn game. So, that L was crazy. And you know, he lost to Brady. You know, that is what it is. That's
And
something
then
you can
even
never
the
get back.
AFC Championship game, not to cut you off, the AFC Championship game because the nigga went off sides.
Yeah,
that game won.
Yeah, the
Chris
losses
Jones.
are not
Yeah.
the losses are not on him. It's that type of resume. But no, like you said, at this point, how do you pick against Pat? Like, how do you do it? As much as I want Lamar to win, how do you pick against Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs?
Yeah, and I think you know, this is gonna be we're gonna get into the Pat Lamar thing. That's nothing to do with football. We're gonna get into that in a minute. That's nothing to do with football. We'll get y'all the football analyst on Friday. But let's talk about the Bills, man, because as y'all know, I'm a resident Josh Allen. I'm a Josh Allen card holder. I will not
one of those white quarterbacks.
Yeah, okay, here we go. Here we go.
Love when the Caucasians run, huh, brother? That's crazy.
By the way, out of all my criticism about Lamar, him running was never one of them. Him running was never one of them. I ain't got no problem with that. This is I would sound like Dan Orlovsky last night and early this morning. Like, no, nigga, it wasn't his fault. But there are certain plays that you have to make. And I think Ryan Clark had a very fair point on a little bit of that I did catch of Get Up this morning was, you know, if it was Lamar Jackson, we wouldn't be saying, oh, it wasn't because of him. If it was Patrick Mahomes or anybody else, they're just plays you have to make. Yes, his wide receivers let him down. That drop that Stephon Diggs had was one of the greatest footballs I've ever seen thrown. That pass was beautiful, and he fucked it up. So I'm very aware of that, but he left points on the board. You left points on the board. You can't be having field goals and think you're going to beat a team like this. And you have, when you're going up against Patrick Mahomes, you got to answer every score. You're the quarterback. When you win, if they'd have won that game, everybody would be hyping up Josh Allen. You know, he's right behind Patrick Mahomes. You know, he's the number 2. He lapped Burrow, which I think, like, somebody told me that, oh, next week you're going to see the 2 best quarterbacks play. No, the second best quarterback knee is on fire right now. Let's not disrespect Joe Burrow. But I do believe that Josh Allen has to take some accountability here because there were some plays that were left on the field. To me, this is an overall team loss. That kick, and I feel bad for Bills fans, but also I'm hoping that we can stop talking about the fucking double joint for a little bit. Talk about them niggas, all right? And wide right part 2. Let's talk about that. You know what I'm saying? So, but Josh does have to take this on the chin. You know what I'm saying? And also Sean McDermott, the nigga tried to go for the ESPYs moment. That nigga tried to give
save that. Let's save that. We're gonna save that, brother. We're gonna save that
because y'all going to hell.
I have comments. I have thoughts. We're gonna save that for the Bills segment.
I'm leaving.
This is the Bills segment.
This is the Bills segment. Shout out to
Courtney. Yeah, because I was just it feels like the natural transition.
Yeah,
so we can properly deliver the smoke. And Dante, I need to hear it. I need to hear it.
Let me go, and I'm gonna let Dante go on this. This is my thing, okay? First of all, I was shocked that he was active, okay? And I see that the rest of Twitter is coming around. Me and Dante were the assholes when we said this 18 goddamn weeks ago, but now everybody making jokes, and now I'm the nigga that's in the wrong. Sean McDermott was like, "Oh, we got this game. Let me give this motherfucker a play, and then we gonna get the best team award and the Jimmy V Moment of the Year award and all that shit." And that is one of the many things that lost that goddamn game. What are you doing? Punt the fucking football. Like, there's certain teams and certain players that you do not play around with. Why give an assassin a loaded gun and point it at yourself? That's basically what they fucking did. So it was just a whole bunch of blunders all together. But Josh Allen, you my boy, but you got to take this L, dog. Dante, I'm gonna go to you.
My brother in Christ. When they gave DeMar Hamlin that football, I can't say what I text the group chat. But in my mind, I said there's no way in hell the football gods are gonna let them win this game. There was no way you're gonna play around like this. Like, out of all the plays for you to call, even if you want to go for it, because I'm cool if you want to go for it. That's fine. They do it all the time in this era. For you to call his number, like, no, this is gonna get him. This one right here.
In your own territory.
This is the play. In your own territory. You say, you know what? They are never gonna forget me. He was trying to steal the moment because he knew if they would have got that first down, they were like Sean McDermott with the gutsy call of the year.
Yeah.
You dirty bastard. I could not fucking believe that shit. I said, yeah, they losing this game. That's exactly what they deserve, bro.
Imagine
and like
them going to commercial break and Mike Tirico's like, and look at this beautiful moment here. Damar Hamlin, his heart stopped at the field, and now he's one win away from the Super Bowl.
And this is why we watch. Get the fuck off my TV, bro.
I hate y'all, man. I really hate y'all.
I could not believe it, bro. They deserve that loss.
I
was so happy when that kick went right. I said that's what I'm talking about right there.
I hate y'all.
That's what I mean.
Are we wrong? Are we wrong?
Not at all. No.
I hate y'all.
Crazy.
That was the first.
It just didn't make any sense.
You want to know? That was one of the first text messages that I woke up to today, and I was like, "What are they talking about?" Because I told y'all once halftime went.
Oh yeah.
First of all, when halftime went, even though they was up 17-13, I said this game is over with. Y'all fucked up my tie. Y'all gonna lose. So there's no reason for me to watch this game. So I woke up and I saw that was the first text I saw because actually. You hit a laugh joint on the text, and that made me grab my phone. So I was like, what the hell are they talking about? Damar Hamlin did what? I thought y'all was joking. I thought it was no way in hell he was even active for the game, let alone
I didn't know he was active till I saw him. I was like, oh, they playing around.
Right. So when I went and searched it on Twitter, I said, nah, they ain't do that. They ain't do that. Bro, come on now. Now to Sean McDermott's credit, I don't think nobody in their right mind thought that Damar Hamlin was gonna get the ball at that moment. Nobody gonna get. Hey, ain't nobody stupid enough to get that man the ball.
Yeah, but as soon as the play developed, everybody on that team was like, "Fuck out of here."
That's right.
You ain't been an ESPN moment, me.
You ain't about to try to get the most inspirational player of the year or just make up an award just to give it to this nigga. You ain't gonna get
Robert Roberts come mid-June and give him an ESPY over me.
Nah,
that shit ain't happening.
Yeah, you're not about to try to have somebody on CBS Sports have a conversation with me. You know what I'm saying, with him before the game starts. Yeah, we talked to Damar Hamlin, and he said, hey, that play last week really made his season, and yada, 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 yada. Now, it was Tracy Wolferson, whatever her name is. She's not about to interview him.
By the way, hey, this comment is crazy. He said, what a play by Damar Hamlin? Okay. You're in timeout, so.
I was about to say,
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
What were you saying, Dante?
Nothing. No, nothing. It was gonna be.
I'm just definitely out of pocket. All I want is just for all of us now to finally, as I have been begging all season, please let's have a reckoning about the Buffalo Bills team. Now we fired Ken Dorsey. We're still getting dumbass play calls on 4th and 5 with Damar Hamlin. Ridiculous. Can we finally have a talk about these Buffalo Bills? Now listen. I'm just saying. Corporate needs you to find the difference between these
Buffalo equals Dallas.
Wait a minute, that's how you make your F's?
Yeah, what you mean?
Like for real, that's how you make your F's for real?
That is crazy.
That shit look like a tree, fam. That shit look like a tree.
A circle.
No, wait a minute. No.
They look like long K's, G. Them like long K's. That look crazy.
How are you supposed to make an F?
That's how you
like that.
No, make your lowercase F like you did in Buffalo. That shit like a palm tree.
This is a generation gap right here. They started teaching this when we was out of school. Right?
Okay, that's a K. That's a K. That's an F.
Fam, your shit look like the leaves of a pineapple.
Can you write in cursive?
Now,
your F look like the leaves on the pineapple.
No, this is not fucking grammar school right now.
What are we doing? Crazy.
What are we doing? This is about Buffalo.
You're right. My bad.
The smoke. You gotta blow it up. Josh Allen is the AFC East version of Dak Prescott, and I won't be taking any questions. Thank you. Have a good day.
Let's take some questions on that F though. F look like a goddamn pineapple leaf.
Crazy. It really doesn't.
Your F look like a GD. Your F look like
it did look like a Kato. I was like, what's going on?
Your F look like GD, fam.
Oh shit!
Your F's is GD folks, fam. That's what your F's look like. Look, I'm laughing at Courtney's F. F look like my wife is like, what the hell going on? Her F look like
That's
CD.
crazy. But you gotta
Her F is like
the
this.
wife about my
You gotta
life.
bring that board back up again.
Her
We
F
gotta
look like this is the line, and then that's
look at this F. Look. Yeah, write the F again. We're not getting off this. Yeah, this F is crazy. This F is insane. And by the way, my handwriting is shit, so I really shouldn't be laughing.
Your handwriting is clean as shit, by the way. Let me say this.
Yeah, you have some real good penmanship.
You have some real good. Let me see your signature. Like, how your signature look?
I'm on mute.
Your signature, look, your handwriting is amazing. I'm just saying, I ain't never seen no F look like that, fam. Your F look like GD, like at the top. Like
Say Courtney's
like
F is like a fork in the road. That's crazy. But Bang, who you think the blame mostly should go to for this weekend?
Hey man, the blame should go mostly to Sean McDermott. That was some dumbass shit that he did. If it was, I went back and watched the rest of the game. And if it was just like how do you fuck up a game? It's Sean McDermott fucked it up. If I'm Josh Allen, even though Josh Allen towards the end of the game, he had the ball last and all that stuff, and before the kick and all that, I don't blame the kicker, for this either. Like, Sean McDermott did whatever he can to fuck up this game. If I'm Josh Allen, I'm going up in that ownership and being like, yo, maybe this dude ain't the one. Like, I give Josh Allen bail because I feel like he's doing so much to compensate for the fuck ups that other people did. I'll give Dan Orlovsky this. Josh Allen had a hell of a game, and he was the second best player on there. But when you got a defense that you got to account for that's fucking up, and when you got a coach that's fucking up, like, you got to overcome a lot. And maybe they do need to make a change at this coaching position. Sean McDermott is the person that I blame for all of this shit because they should not have been in this situation. And that DeMar Hamlin fake punt thing, where they were at on the field too, like, it wasn't like they were in Kansas City territory. You don't do that shit in a game like this. So no, Sean McDermott got to answer to it. But Josh Allen, the one thing I will say is quarterbacks get praised for the position that Josh Allen was in, and he didn't get it done. So from a moment standpoint, Josh Allen didn't do it. But from an overall game standpoint, hey man, Sean McDermott got some answering to do.
Dante, who deserves most blame? Is McDermott or Allen or somebody else?
This is a team meal, bro. As much as I really dislike that play call, and I just had to make my opinion felt on that. It was a team meal. Just for as many splash plays as Josh made, it was some layups he missed that would have took the clock down, got them the first downs, and they would have kept the ball and won the game. So, if you keep playing around with Pat Mahomes, you eventually will get burned. And so I think McDermott, some of the calls he made, the receivers, man, Diggs, bro, that drop was crucial. That was a great pass.
Have we heard from Stephon Diggs yet, by the way?
No.
No.
But it's amazing, though, just out of fairness to Josh Allen. It is amazing how unbelievably loud he is when Josh Allen is playing bozo ball and throwing 2-3 picks a game. I'm just saying, I like Stephon Diggs, but this is kind of a theme with him everywhere he's been. I'm just saying.
He was flat out dropping the ball. Like,
right. It was a couple. It wasn't just that one. It was a couple.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Point shaving.
Point shaving. 200 yards yesterday.
No.
Yeah.
Maybe not. Like, and here's the thing too. Like, this is one of those things where Courtney, you bring up the Cowboys. It's like it's the same shit a little bit. Like, there's just a certain
they're NFC and AFC versions of each other.
Right. It's like there's a certain level they can't. It's like the fucking I don't know if any of y'all played Donkey Kong growing up. But remember on Donkey Kong when niggas would be like, you have to jump over those broken train tracks. And the farther the level goes, the larger the train tracks. These niggas can't go over the train tracks. And this is a simple train track for them niggas to jump over, and they couldn't do it. So this is when we ask, where do they go next? I'm gonna throw a chaos bomb with y'all real quick. Everybody remember last week we was talking about who Atlanta gonna hire as their next coach. This is what the Bills should do. Fire Sean McDermott, give Bill Belichick a call.
That's crazy.
Get Bill Belichick a call.
That's chaos for sure.
That is a chaos bomb right there. You bring Bill Belichick with this team, and he might be the thing that takes them to the next step and takes them over that hump. Now, it's going to be hard because Patrick Mahomes is still there, obviously. Still got Debo on the block. Still got Omar on the block. You know what I'm saying? But that, to me, is something that would work. Because I feel like Sean McDermott, and I don't think Sean McDermott is a bad coach, but when you can't get it done, niggas lose jobs. And this is a team, L. And more than anything, he needs to be fired for that Disney shit he pulled. Just off that. If I'm the owner of the fucking Bills, I'm bringing this nigga in the fucking office. Remember, did y'all see last week when Mike Brown of the Kings brought that iPad and showed why he got ejected? I'm like, this is why you losing your job. Because of this shit right here. You know what I'm saying?
On my soul, G, I would have hit him like Patrick Ewing. Like, did you practice that play? When did you run that play?
I would have lost.
Have you ever done that before?
Like, look, man, look, y'all already going, and like you said, it's a football guy. Y'all tempting fate. Y'all niggas already put his number on the ambulance, which was nasty. Which was nasty. We saw that weeks ago. I just can't get over that. That's another one thing I took from this weekend. These niggas got a lot of nerve. I just can't get over that. Courtney, what do you think about my Bill Belichick chaos bomb? Or do you have like another way how you think this would?
I think that's crazy, but I do think you're right. I said it again when they fired Ken Dorsey earlier in the season. I said, I don't know if Ken Dorsey is the problem, but, they held on to the dude making 9/11 comparisons.
Which is crazy.
Which is crazy. Crazy.
Which is crazy.
Yeah, good.
Oh,
good luck
shit.
to them. They're never going to get over the hump. And now they got to worry about Joe Burrow coming back too. Good luck to that team. Good luck to them.
Yeah, did anything big in sports happen, Bang, or you just reacting to something else?
I can't say it publicly.
Oh, okay.
But I'm gonna send y'all a text message.
Okay, send a text message. Let's move on to the next topic, man. I actually want to talk about Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, big heavyweight fight this week. And by the way, I will say that last night was a heavyweight fight. It was an amazing game. Every time. Oh shit. That's some crazy shit, man. We can't say that yet. But like I was saying, last night, every time that Josh Allen and not Tom Brady, Patrick Mahomes go at it, it's a great game. And I think this game this coming week will be crazy. But I want to talk about something not football with this. The fate of the black community is on the line this weekend. Allegiances will be made. Lines in the sand will be drawn. And there will be a lot of colorism on the table because there is Lamar Jackson versus Patrick Mahomes. And this is the thing I want to say about this, man. We got. I hope it doesn't get to the level that I think it's gonna get on the TL. Where we start saying, "Oh, nigga, he's a real black quarterback," and things like that. But I think that we need to kind of appreciate this moment, as there used to be a time where there wasn't any black quarterbacks. Now we're getting black quarterback matchups every damn week, and especially in the playoffs. But I'm seeing the stuff that's gonna come on the TL. It even started last night. I tweeted that last night with the Jonathan Majors breaking up the fight between the kids pick, and somebody's like, "I'm going with the real black man." It's very nasty. Bang, you were laughing when I said this. What do you think about like the off football field storyline that we got here?
Hey, this is Black history. Because it's not like, we getting like a random ass black. It's not like we getting like Sean King going up against Donovan McNabb or something. Not no disrespect to Sean King, but you know what I'm saying. Like the two quarterbacks that we have going against each other is possibly the two best quarterbacks in the NFL. You got Lamar Jackson, who's going to be the MVP of this season. And then you have Patrick Mahomes, who's the MVP every other season. So this is definitely one of those situations where, when people say the tide has changed, and when you hear, sometimes it be sounding corny as hell, and maybe I'm wrong for saying it, but sometimes when Patrick Mahomes has be at the podium talking about some, when the kids is, see this, growing up, yada yada yada, that should be sounding corny as hell, fam. I'm sorry. That should be sounding when you wish upon a star makes no difference who you are and shit. Like, get the fuck up out of here. Except for this moment right here. Like, it is dope to see the two best quarterbacks in the league be two brothers, and they're going up against each other to get to the Super Bowl. So I love it. This is what we want. And these are the two best teams. Even though I picked Buffalo last week, I said I really want Patrick to go up against Lamar. I want Roquan to go up against Patrick. I want this. I want Ray Lewis to come out and do the dance. Where's Peter Bowears? He's still around. like I want like all of the old Ravens, the Black Ravens, to come through and be ready for this shit. You know what I'm saying? So no, I love it.
Get Chris McAllister out here, nigga. Like,
yeah, get Chris McAllister out here in this bitch. You know what I'm saying? I want all like and in Baltimore too.
Yeah, and first time Baltimore's ever hosted the AFC Championship game.
Right. That shit was weird to the motherfucker. But no, I love this. This is what football is about. This weekend right here, this particular game, to the point. I was like, why is this the first game?
Yeah, I mean, that's a good point. Why is this
the first game?
Yeah, that's a great question.
Well, it's probably it might be some schedule that CBS got to get the first game.
I don't give a shit.
Well, no, time out. No, the Niners at home, right?
Yeah, the Niners at home.
Yeah,
that's why.
I don't give a shit.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right. Because y'all got to be on our superior time zone.
So, you got to think they're not going to have us up at 9 p.m. watching that game. So, or early as hell. So you got to do it.
I'm gonna tell you like this: it's gonna be so much energy that's thrown out towards that game. I'm probably not even gonna give a damn about San Francisco versus Detroit anyway.
Oh, that's definitely
gonna be honest. I really don't care that much about the NFC Championship game because, in my opinion, whoever ends up playing anyway is probably gonna lose to the winner of the AFC.
The winner of this game is winning the Super Bowl, and I feel like the reason y'all say this is definitely the y'all want to go grab some beer real quick. Like at least the first half of that game is what it's gonna be like that. But also, I'm gonna tell you why people look at it like that way too. The AFC is the Avengers of quarterbacks. You got Pat, you got Burrow, you got Lamar, you got Allen, whatever. Them niggas, you ever seen that meme on Twitter of the dragons, and they be like two serious dragons, and then like two dragons who don't look intimidating, and it's like two of these don't belong here.
And it's that one that look
that's that's Brock Purdy and Jared Goff. You know what I'm saying? That's what that is, man. But it's gonna be a lot of energy in there. It's gonna be different delegations. And I also feel like this, and you said the same thing, Bang, but Pat don't be helping himself. Pat don't be helping himself at all. You know what I'm saying? With going up there, he sounds like Squidward. You know what I'm saying? If anybody knows from SpongeBob SquarePants, that's what he sounds like. But Dante, what do you think about? I'm gonna keep going to the Morehouse, man. I'm gonna keep saying that about this all black matchup.
It's gonna be interesting, the mixed brothers versus the full-blooded Negroes, as a lot of people are calling it. It's gonna be a very, very talented, a lot of talent on the field, but more than anything, bro, it's gonna be a culture clash. Like we talk about Pat, we make the jokes about his wife and his family and all of that other shit. Now with Taylor Swift, always being the tag along in the suite. And then you got Lamar, who's waiting on Kodak Black to get out of jail to put him in the suite for the game. So it's a culture clash, but at the same time, it's two really great quarterbacks. So I think it's good for the game, and it's showing everybody that, Kurt Warner was talking about this earlier, how back in the day, they were always saying you can't win with mobile quarterbacks. And now that is something that's a part of the skill set. Like you have to have that in your bag. Otherwise, you're not going to be a good quarterback. So we got two of the best. Something dope that I hope we can see more often. I know everybody's stuck on the Pat Josh rivalry or whatever, but that's really starting to look like Brady Phillip Rivers. Like it's cool, but he be beating his ass.
Yeah, that's Brady Phillip. Brady Manning to me is more Burrow Mahomes. Burrow
exactly.
Beat this nigga, and honestly, should have beat him last year. I still don't like that roughing call.
That's still so crazy to me, though. And again, I know I make my jokes about Josh Allen, but that man needs a change of scenery. I think he needs a change of scenery. We got to Josh Allen. We gonna get you out of there.
We gonna get you out of there.
We gonna get you out of there.
Wait a minute, change the scenery from Buffalo?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
It ain't gonna happen, but
you gotta get him out of that division at the very least. Or get him out of the AFC, because if he has to keep running into Patrick Mahomes or Joe Burrow, that brother is cooked.
Bill Belichick or Jim Harbaugh. I'm telling you, get Sean McDermott ass up out of here. But Courtney, what do you think about overall about this matchup? From both perspectives, on the field, off the field.
Oh, I think it's fantastic. I know it's your worst nightmare.
It's not my. I do not hate Lamar Jackson. I do not hate Lamar. I don't know anybody.
No, I think
I'd be hating if Jordan Love was in this motherfucker.
I think it's great for the game. I think it's great for kids to see black quarterbacks, in these types of positions. I'm here for it. I do fear the idea of a Detroit Baltimore Super Bowl in Vegas.
Ooh.
That sounds.
Watch your pockets if you're in Vegas.
Oh my God.
Michigan and Baltimore niggas in one city.
Oh man,
goodness. But nah, I think it's awesome. I'm here for it.
All I'm picturing is a lot of dancing. Like people gonna be doing that.
Oh, it's gonna be a whole bunch
two
of
steps and shit.
They're gonna be doing the Park Hill strut. Niggas be doing out there in Baltimore. You know what I'm saying? Somebody, I think it was Ross Reed on Twitter, said pick your opponent, and it had like different shows for each area. So for the Wire, for the Baltimore had the Wire. For Detroit, they had Martin. For the Niners had Full House, and then who's the other team? Oh, for Kansas City, they had Malcolm and Eddie. I was like, I forgot Malcolm and Eddie was in Kansas City. But I think it's gonna be a good matchup, man. I think it's kind of like what Kurt Warner said. And this is also something nasty that we saw this weekend, even though I am a Josh Allen fan. Very crazy to me. What old girls, very upsetting to me and my homegirls. When they put on the stat, oh, Josh Allen has 50 combined touchdowns. But when it's Lamar Jackson or Justin Fields, it's strictly on the throwing. But when it's Josh Allen, let's combine everything. Let's combine this nigga's rushing yards too. So that shit was nasty when you see that. But I think it'll be a good matchup. But it's gonna get funny on the TL. Just if you're a Ravens fan, do not make these niggas a culture team. Culture teams do not win. Y'all try to do that shit last year in the Super Bowl with the Eagles. And Pat was like, no, I'm not going for that shit. And if there's anybody, we sit up here talking about, who black, who not, which I hate that conversation, and we're not going to get into it. Nobody is a bigger nigga than Patrick Mahomes Sr. By the way, did y'all see that nigga in the press box yesterday? He was like, oh, no, it's too many white people up there. Like, everybody know that look. Like, a white person behind you just doing too much, and he looking at Taylor Swift and Jason Kelsey like, nah, yeah, y'all need to chill your ass the fuck out. But I think it's going to be a fun game, man. We're going to preview that more on Friday, man. We get into that. But I want to talk more about the Baltimore Ravens. I don't feel like we're talking enough about them. And I'm going to satisfy people out there who think I hate Lamar Jackson, which I don't. Is this the Ravens' title to lose? Because we keep talking about, windows and, what kind of team and opportunities. We just said last week that the Bills had this opportunity and the Bills had to jump upon it. It's the same thing for the fucking Ravens. Not only is it an opportunity against the Chiefs, it's an opportunity to take advantage of the division where Joe Burrow's knee is hurt. That's another thing you want to take advantage of. You know what I'm saying? And even though I hate the guy, I hate the motherfucker like shit. But Aaron Rodgers will still be back next year. If his knee is good, he's gonna be somebody that if they can get into this conversation, he's gonna be right up in there.
His knee, or
whatever.
Shit pop again.
It don't matter what it is. I hope they run that motherfucker over. Anyway, whatever it is. He's gonna be in that conversation again too. So you can take advantage of the situation. You don't know how long this defense is gonna be like that, and you need to take advantage of Pat when he's vulnerable. Because, like I said last week, that front office is gonna spend every dollar on wide receiver this fucking offseason. So you need to take advantage of that right now. But Bang, what do you is this the Ravens' title to lose in your opinion?
No. Because we just gave Patrick Mahomes all the love in the world a couple of segments ago. So I actually think it's the Kansas City Chiefs title to lose. Really, because I think that they the ones who come up here with all of the pressure in the world. This is one of those situations where you might be the home team and all of that stuff, but, you're going against Patrick Mahomes. You're probably going to be favored at home, but nobody really believes that you will win it. So no, I don't think it's the Ravens to lose. I think it's the Kansas City Chiefs to lose because at the end of the day, you have to beat the king in order to be the king. In this case, Patrick Mahomes is that. So yeah, we'll see what happens. But no, I don't think so.
Dante, what you think?
No, I agree with the whole window conversation that you got to take advantage of that right when you can. However, I don't think it's theirs to lose. I think when we go out here and we look at Pat Mahomes, we look at the 49ers who, when we talk about them, I have some thoughts. But you're still talking about some really good football teams they have to go through in order to win this Super Bowl. Now, right now, they shaping up to be do I think they should be the favorite? Yes, absolutely. But theirs to lose? No, they still gonna have to go get it. And Lamar has shown you all year that he can do it. I do think it's funny, we tend to spin things back toward the Bears. If Justin Fields had 159 passing yards and 100 yards rushing, it would have been the end of the world. But that's just how we do things. But Lamar has shown you once again with dual threat quarterbacks, you have to take everything into account, and he's been amazing. But with that said, it's not theirs to lose, bro. I think that's putting too much on it. That's putting a little too much on it because it's still gonna be a tough road to get there.
Can I say this too about your comment real quick? We're not gonna do all Bears today. I know we're gonna say that for Patreon. I just want to say this. I saw a lot of this weekend. And I know this y'all been trying to make me sound like I don't like Justin Fields, which I hate because I love Justin Fields like a motherfucker. But the Lamar shit got to stop. Like I look, they have the same style, but that's where it stops, bro. Lamar threw 36 touchdowns in year 2. Okay, and Lamar has had bad receivers really up until this year.
Like they got Mark Andrews and players to be named.
Time out. Year 2, we stripped the roster down to the screws, so don't do that. If we're gonna take it there, we can take it there.
Man,
let's not do it. Let's save it. We'll save it.
Niggas
all y'all
I'm with you, Scott.
We're gonna save it.
Y'all niggas be more in love with the idea of Justin Fields than Justin Fields, bro.
No, you gotta be realistic, bro.
Also, y'all keep moving from an outsider. All of y'all keep moving the goalposts from week to week, and once again, I am begging.
We are hurt, Courtney. We don't know what to do. Okay, we are in pain. Okay,
Courtney, I think as in you, Scott. I think you, Scott. It's a sickness, my brother.
Definitely, Scott.
I'm about to say I don't move the goalpost.
I'm not moving the goalpost. I'm just saying we gotta have support here. If we gonna be going on everybody who's like so pro Caleb, all pro Justin, be wilding too.
And not to be the one that defends the pro Justin guys all the time, but the only thing people are saying is when you look at a team and when they take your skill set into consideration and build around it and allow you to grow, look what happens. Yeah, he threw them touchdowns. You're right. But year 2 with Justin, it was a tank year. Year 1, it was Nagy, who we've all said can't call offense to save his life. So is it facts or an excuse?
Wait. I got the
sometimes we gotta look at
I got the easiest answer to this, man. The Baltimore Ravens just had a better coaching staff and coached up.
They had Harbaugh on a stake his first year there. Yeah, they wanted that nigga out of there.
It don't matter. He's still a better. He's still a better coach.
He made the move to keep his job.
The only reason he played Lamar is because fucking Joe Flacco.
Scott. The only reason they play Brady is because motherfucking buddy back, bro. What happens.
Romo and Harbaugh is still a better coaching tandem than what Justin has had. That's all I'm saying.
But
I'm not saying you're wrong. You're right.
Look, I think
you're Scott. You're right. I'm not saying you're wrong. I said you're right. What I'm saying is that the coaching staff it was way better than what we have because
he's right at once.
So he's wrong to say it. It's okay.
Two things can be right at the same time.
36 touchdowns in year 2.
Two things can be right at the same
he
time.
He also threw 36 touchdowns in year 2.
You spent 365 days telling me he was throwing the Mariano's baggers. I'm not trying to hear that shit.
And so was Lamar.
I'm not trying to hear that shit.
Was Lamar not throwing the Mariano's baggers?
No, I wouldn't say that. He's always had a quality tight end every year. Has he not?
Tight end, nigga. Tight end.
When your offense, they run a lot of tight end sets, bro.
He's on the Rancho Cucamonga Brown. Like, let's be real.
Say it again, Courtney. Say it again.
How much money did y'all give Cole Kmet?
That was this year. That was Cole. Cole solid. Cole solid. Cole not an issue.
Check emails, y'all. I'm just going.
Look. Y'all make me sound like y'all got me like I feel like Larry in Palestinian Chicken episode. I'm like in the middle of dividing lines and like.
Hey, you kicked it off. You kicked it off with the sex. You kicked it off like.
Listen, I can bring it back in. I can reel it back in, and I'll bring it back around to the Ravens. I feel like maybe we are giving them a little bit too much. The Ravens have to win. With no Joe Burrow, if you get past the Chiefs, you gotta win. Especially, listen, and we don't know if Deebo Samuel is going to play this weekend. In my opinion, we'll talk about that in a little bit. But that's the decision maker for me. If Deebo Samuel don't play, then I'm worried about the 49ers.
Yeah.
I'm worried. We'll get to the Niners in a minute, but I do feel
Ravens got to win this year. Sorry.
Yeah, it's not. I don't see it. I don't think it's anybody in the leagues there to.
Your defense is healthy
to win. I mean,
Mark Andrews is back.
Yeah, he should be back. Like, this to me is the best opportunity. I don't think there's out of the 4 teams remaining. I don't think that any of them this is their year to lose. Because I can actually see all 4 winning. And it pains me that I can see the Detroit Lions winning. I never thought those words come out of my mouth, but I can see all 4 teams winning. Like, in 3 weeks from now, if you give me any one of those teams, I can see it happening. But they just have such a golden opportunity. It's like this is everything that Lamar needed from coming off from last year. Where we didn't even know if he was going to be on the fucking Ravens, which is perfect segue to my next point. If you're a team out there last year, Atlanta Falcons, I'm looking at you, who had a chance to get Lamar Jackson, how stupid are you feeling right now?
Dumb in the motherfucker.
You got to be feeling dumb as shit, because the fact it's not even that they didn't sign him or they didn't want to give up certain assets. There wasn't even an attempt. Like, the fact there wasn't even an attempt for a former league MVP was crazy. I said it then, I said it now. It was just a crazy thing. It wasn't even an attempt. And look at all these teams who need quarterbacks. All of them. The Browns, them niggas sold for Nasty Man when you could have had Lamar Jackson. Other team. What Courtney, correct me if I'm wrong. Were the Saints in it too? The Saints? So, like, were they like one of the teams who allegedly would want to talk to Lamar, told him no or some shit like that?
I mean, I've never been too sold on like black quarterbacks in New Orleans. They've never been.
I was wondering where you were going with that.
Yeah. That's exactly where I was going with that. That just never. I mean, Jameis Winston, I know it happened, but like.
Hey man, shouts out to Aaron Brooks, man.
I was about to say Aaron
Brooks. Yeah.
So, I mean, but yes and no.
Jeff Blake.
Yeah, they told him no immediately.
Jeff Blake, yeah, that's a name right there. But Dante, you on the front lines for this mainly all offseason.
Yeah.
What do you think about that now?
Well, because this is the thing. Like, I'm a firm believer that the league colluded to make sure he didn't get the deal that he wanted, because we always talk about setting these precedents, and for him as a quarterback, if he would have been able to negotiate his own contract, that would have been a big deal. We've seen linebackers do it. Linemen, it's a little different, but with quarterbacks and the amount of guaranteed money he was trying to get, if he was able to get that deal by himself, that's something that goes against the entire establishment. So I think that was a lot of the reasons with that. And also, I also believe Baltimore wasn't gonna let him go nowhere. Like, they were playing hardball with him, but at the end of the day, they were gonna pay the man, because they know without Lamar Jackson, the Ravens, you still got a great defense, but that team goes with Lamar. We've seen it the last 2 seasons. When he's not there, it's a completely different ball game, especially offensively, when you've structured your entire offense around his skill set. So I think there was a little collusion involved. Arthur Blank came out and said it. The Watson situation was different. I do know, they've reported Deshaun reached out to Atlanta with his representatives, and so that's why that talk got kicked off. But if hypothetically, if there was, an opportunity, you got a lot of teams that probably feel shitty about it. I still look at San Francisco, and as many times as you've rolled the dice and switched things up in this same window, trying to get a quarterback, you didn't even make an attempt. Like, that's somebody I would have shit. I would have made him force my hand. I would have had to sign him to the offer sheet and see what happened. But like I said, collusion.
Bang, what you feel about all this? Like, is there any team that you think should feel the most shitty?
Every team should feel shitty. Any team that has some salary cap room should feel shitty. The Atlanta Falcons should feel shitty. And anybody else who can't, Washington. I think, matter of fact, honestly, I think the team that probably should feel the most shitty is Washington, because Atlanta don't. I mean, other than Kyle Pitts and Drake London, I'm still iffy on Buddy ass. But Washington out here with Scary Terry, Curtis Samuel, 2 decent running backs. Antonio Gibson can is a good pass catcher, receiving running back. Brian, you shot me. I'm still out here though. Robinson Jr. The defense was pretty decent. like they were a quarterback away from being decent, hella decent in the NFC East. And they had to settle for Sam Howell. Like, Atlanta could get a quarterback in the draft or trade up and get one in the draft, or Justin Fields, and really, work this out. But if I'm Washington, you basically, like, if I'm Ron Rivera, if I'm, Martin Mayhew, like, I'm about to get fired because I didn't get this dude, and I was probably a quarterback away. Like, imagine him on the Commanders going up against the Dallas Cowboys, going up against this Eagles team, going up against the Giants. They probably would win the division, and we'd be having a different conversation. I guess Lamar in Atlanta looks good in the uniform. It reminds you of Michael Vick, but yeah, in DC they would have loved that man.
Courtney, what you think in general about like all these teams not even offering a contract to him, like not even talking to him, like which is most asinine part to me.
Oh, I'm with Dante 100%. I think that there was absolutely some ownership collusion that took place. I don't think anyone was so vehemently opposed to the thought of him that they were like, yeah, no, we're not even gonna bother. I absolutely believe that there was collusion afoot, 100%.
Definitely. Now let's move on to the other game that happened this Saturday. A game that I enjoyed thoroughly, man. The Green Bay Packers and the San Francisco 49ers. Niners won 24-21. Brock Purdy went 23-39, 252 yards passing, 1 touchdown. Christian McCaffrey showed you how a white man runs football, 17 carries, 98 yards, 2 touchdowns, scored the game-winning touchdown. George Kittle was their leading receiver, 4 receptions, 81 yards, 1 touchdown. But I'm going to take this time, because I've been waiting to do this. Boy, I've been waiting to shit on them bitch ass niggas up north. The Green Bay Packers. The Green Bay Packers. It's just a joy, a sick joy that I get from watching them lose. Like it doesn't matter. We could go winless. It don't matter, and it doesn't matter on both sides. They like watching us lose. Now, granted, we lose a lot more, but that's besides the point. They enjoy watching us lose just as much. But I was just tired of the Jordan Love narrative. Like, yes, did he have a good year? 100%. He had a way better year than I thought, and I think majority of people thought. In fact, only people I know he even thought that he's probably going to be good was Mikey. And I don't even know if that was Mikey's actual prediction or him just having Bears PTSD, but he was the only one who said that, this dude might actually be decent. So he was good. But there was too many comparisons to Aaron Rodgers and Brett Favre, and it's just like, what are we doing? What are we doing? Like, if there's anybody who I give the blame, now granted, Jordan Love still has to make the throws. I understand that. Matt LaFleur deserves every dollar they pay him. The way he schemes those wide receivers open, like, how we always say, well, how's Kelsey always open? Every nigga on a receiving core is open. It's ridiculous. You be having Romeo Doubs look like Wes Welker. Like, what are we doing? Like, and so all that I'm giving to LaFleur, and it was just amazing to see. Just because they were sneaking up on the Niners, that people were really paying attention that he did not have a good game. 21-34, 194 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. There's anybody else would sacrifice them. And that last interception to Dre Greenlaw. By the way, Dre Greenlaw, my man, you got to get down on the floor. Like, you were playing with fire. Get down. Like, I don't know if y'all saw the intercepted. It was everybody in the Niners secondary was like, nigga, get down. You get down, the game is over. You can't be playing with fire like that, dog. You got to get down. But that was one of the worst throws I've ever seen in my life. And this comes from a Chicago Bears fan. I've seen a lot of bad throws in my life. And that was at the top. He pulled Uncle Rico, somebody down there, and that just straight up got picked. So fuck the Packers. I ain't got nothing to say. Fuck the Packers. But with the Niners, I saw some concerns. I saw some chinks in the armor. And look, man, Brock Purdy, dog, I would be worried about him because who they're about to play this week in the Detroit Lions, they're a better team than the Green Bay Packers. Jared Goff is a way better quarterback than Jordan Love. He's got to be able to answer blow for blow. And the Packers defense is not a good defense. I understand they play better towards them, but they're not a good defense. And the way this Detroit defense has been playing, you need Brock Purdy to be a whole lot better. And Brock Purdy has everything he needs around him. You know, we talk about Justin Fields needs these things. Brock Purdy has these things, and he's not doing what he needs to be doing. Like, if we want to be honest about it, Jimmy Garoppolo's looked better in the playoffs than this nigga has. Like, and they were ready to ship him out very, very quickly. At least he's been to a Super Bowl. At least he's done these things. At least he's been, has played better. And then, of course, you got a couple bozo players that's going to come from Jimmy Garoppolo, but it's like Brock Purdy doesn't even get to that level. And I kind of feel like Kyle Shanahan knows what he has in Brock Purdy, and he doesn't put him in those situations or even throw the ball like he probably needs to be doing. So I would be worried about that. I would be worried from some of the things we saw from the defense. I'll be worried about the running game. Aaron Jones, 18 carries, 108 yards. I'll be concerned about that, especially with as good as Detroit runs the ball. So I'm a little nervous about San Francisco. They got out of that game unscathed, and you win. And in the NFL, wins are hard to come by, especially in the playoffs. You take it and you move on. But if Brock Purdy doesn't take it to a next level, if he's incapable of taking it to the next level, they're going to be going home on Sunday. And that's something that I will be worried about. I'm going to go to Dante first. You said you had some things that you were concerned about with the Niners. What did you see on Saturday?
Brock Purdy's ass. Like, that's what I saw. Like, we've been talking about it all year. And shout out to Ryan Clark. He really said it. Like, he was like, yo, he said, yeah, it's been the hardest thing for me to do is try to put him in the conversation with these elite quarterbacks, all year. Like, he played bad the entire game, and then, he had his checkdowns, and they won the game. But, yeah, that's another guy who I said before we started that, the jury is still out, and not only is it still out, bro, a lot of the questions that people have are valid. Like, it's a reason why, even though, he's had his struggles, whenever Sam Darnold has to come into the game and he throws the ball, it looks different. Like, it's more zip on the ball. And so with Purdy, he is in the perfect scheme with the perfect quarterback. I talked to Kyle Shanahan is my favorite coach, but that scheme is A1, and Purdy has been able to avoid the turnovers. Obviously, Green Bay dropped a couple of interceptions, which could have changed that game. And so, going into this game against the Lions, I think that defense is going to be ready. And so, I know everybody's writing that game off because of the excitement between the Pat versus Lamar matchup. I think that's going to be a really good game. And once again, Purdy got to show me something, especially if Debo is out. We've always seen him take a step back when he loses a weapon. Yeah. So Purdy is really what worries me. That's what I'm worried about. Christian McCaffrey's hamstring, I'm still a little worried about that, but he'll be all right. Purdy is the issue.
Courtney, do you think Purdy's the issue too, or is there anything else that might stand out to you?
I'm spot on with Dante. We're locked in today. I absolutely am not on the Brock Purdy train, and especially not if Deebo Samuel isn't playing. I'm scared for the Niners at home. That doesn't do anything for me. I'm scared for them if they don't have Deebo. That's really the beginning and end of it all.
Yeah. Bang. What'd you see from the Niners this week?
3 for 3. Brock Purdy is ass. Look, man, when I know I'm probably going to get killed by some of the San Francisco 49ers fans and their takes, and I see Deebo Samuel on Instagram stories try to shade Ryan Clark for his take on Brock Purdy. But let's be clear, man, Brock Purdy is ass. All right, Brock Purdy is a pretty decent quarterback that is doing enough because of the people that he has around him. All right, you got Deebo Samuel, you got Brandon Ayuk, you got George Kittle, you got Christian McCaffrey. You know who all of that makes me like sounds familiar? Rex Grossman, y'all. Rex Grossman had Musha Muhammad. He had, 2 running backs, Cedric Benson and Thomas Jones. He had a pretty decent offensive line at the time. Like, he had a whole bunch of pieces around him. But guess what? Rex Grossman is ass, y'all. And that's why he was like soon after that, he was not, Rex, you wasn't going to hear Rex is our quarterback no more. Like you have Rex, you have Kyle Shanahan's offense, and Kyle Shanahan who's really put this man in the proper place. But at the same time, that man was ass that game. That man was so ass to the point where I was more upset that Detroit won because now they might have to go up against an ass quarterback than anything else and probably end up going to the Super Bowl because y'all know how I feel about the Detroit Lions at this point.
Nobody give a damn about the Detroit Lions with Detroit.
With Detroit Lions.
Yep.
But if I'm Aiden Hutchinson, if I'm Aaron Glenn in that defense, and I'm looking at the quarterback that just played that game right there, and the fact that Deebo Samuel might not play in this game, the San Francisco 49ers do not win this game if Deebo is not playing in it. So they better shoot whatever cortisone shot or whatever in that goddamn shoulder for him to play. Because if they don't, Brock Purdy has to do that against that defense. I'm not sure that's going to happen. And that's saying a lot considering that I hate that team. They're going to really matter of fact, I don't know if y'all heard or saw, but I saw something. I don't know how true it is, but Tom Brady thought about coming back with the San Francisco 49ers.
Yeah, they said they tried to reach out to him or some shit.
And Brock Purdy was like, well, shit, he the GOAT. What the fuck you think? That tells you everything you need to hear. If I'm that cold, I'm like, man, bring that old ass motherfucker up there. Fuck dude, he old as hell. No, Brock Purdy is a top 20 quarterback. And I will say, Brock Purdy proves that you could just build around a quarterback and you can see what happens.
Brock Purdy proves this, or so does Jared Goff proves this. Jared Goff is that like
top 20. By the way, a top 20 quarterback in a league with 32 quarterbacks is crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, but not only that.
Don't even assign me a number, dude.
Yeah. But no, bang, your point. The Niners and everybody, this is for everybody who says, well, no, the Bears need to reset the QB clock. The Niners have missed on like 3 quarterbacks in this window.
I said John Lynch is away with murder, bro. John Lynch got away with murder.
But it's because he's made multiple Super Bowls. Don't get me wrong, they haven't won it yet. And I know we try to go rings is all that matters, but no, they've still built a team that's full of talent, bro. Well, no, they didn't win because Jimmy G fucking missed that goddamn layup.
Because of the quarterback. Right? That's what I did. Yeah.
But yeah, so
there
like
no Jimmy Garoppolo slander on my watch for the record.
Not today.
You said not today.
No, we're not doing that today. But no, like, bro, like this is a team that shows you, like I said, it's more than one way to do this. It's more than one way to do this.
We're gonna get into that in just a moment. I want to talk about Detroit real quick, unfortunately for Bang, but. Man, this is what I say about Detroit Lions, man. And I don't believe there's a such thing as a rebuild in the NFL. I'm sorry, I just don't. I think there's retools. I think in NBA there's rebuilds, Major League Baseball there's rebuilds, NHL there's rebuilds. There's no rebuilds in the NFL. It's retooling. So I will say that the Detroit Lions retooled correctly. And I hate that I gotta admit this, but they did it the right fucking way. And this is something that I feel like every Bears fan has been like banging the gavel on this, but especially Dante. Ownership. When the ownership of Detroit Lions said we need to get this shit right, they got it right. They hired the right GM in Brad Holmes. Brad Holmes hired the right team of people in his front office. He hired Dan Campbell. And by the way, I don't know if people remember, niggas laughed at Dan Campbell 3 years ago when he got hired.
And to the day, yesterday, that was the anniversary of the biting kneecaps.
Yeah. And it was like, he sounds like a fucking meathead. Like, they hired this dude. Oh, the typical Lions. Who's laughing now, nigga? And there was people at the draft. I was one of them. Me and my brother, we was at the draft last year. When that number 12 pick came in, they said Jahmyr Gibbs. We laughed. Like, what the fuck they need a running back for? Like, you know, you just signed David Montgomery. Like, what's the point of that? Like, get something else. Jahmyr Gibbs is dominated. And Jared Goff. And I never thought Jared Goff was a bad quarterback. Jared Goff has been to a Super Bowl with the Los Angeles Rams. He was never a bad guy. And if you look at his stats, he's been a good quarterback since he got in the league. He's just not a win because of guy. And when they came to Detroit, everybody was like, oh, they got fleeced. They got fleeced, you know, Matthew Stafford. And it didn't help when Matthew Stafford won the championship in year fucking 1 of being in that McVay system and being in Los Angeles. But he is doing some legacy saving shit here. Like the Detroit Lions, they as bad as the Bears history has been, like them niggas are way worse. Like they might be the most losing ass team in like NFL history. These niggas went 0-16. And they had, I don't know if it was the next year or the year after, they were very close to going 0-16 again. Like this is a historically bad team, but they found a way to get together. They got their quarterback. You got the general manager. You got the coach. You got the young players. You got the right St. Brown, as Bang likes to call him. He's good. You got Jamison Williams, which he got suspended, and that dude is a dog. And that was another time there. Aiden Hutchinson. Once you get the quarterback's most important player in football. The nigga who's rushing the quarterback is the second most important. They hit it right with Aiden Hutchinson, a local guy. And there was even a moment yesterday where when they won, he's just looking at the crowd and like he just like soaking it all in. And if I wasn't an NFC, if my team wasn't an NFC North, I would actually feel happy for them. But I'm not. Fuck it. But this team is defying all the odds, and it actually makes me feel a little bitter too. We were better than niggas for 7.5 quarters, but I'm not going to do that again. This is a team where they've got it right, and as good as San Francisco is, they're really good. It would not shock me if Detroit beats them niggas because they've got the coach. They've got everything you need. There's nothing missing. Even the defense, they had problems towards the end of the season. They're getting good. They had Baker Mayfield, even though I think Baker Mayfield, for the most part, had a good game on Sunday. He really had the pass rush was coming for him. Same thing with Matthew Stafford. And that's going to be something that Brock Purdy's going to have a hard time to deal with. Since I'm an asshole, I'm going to go to Bang first. What do you feel about the way that the Lions put it together and got in this position in just 3 years?
I'm jealous. It's no other way around it. Part of my quote is because I'm jealous of the Detroit Lions. I can't believe that I'm saying that I'm jealous of the Detroit Lions. Look, they grabbed a quarterback that basically, look, Sean McVay ain't slick, and that's why he apologized. You know why Sean McVay ain't slick? Because he sent Jared Goff there because he felt like he was sending Jared Goff to the worst team in the league.
To a nice watch. He sent him to a nice watch.
Yeah, we gonna send you to Siberia, fam. I don't know what Jared Goff did to that man, but he sent the number 1 pick in the NFL draft to Siberia. And honestly, Jared Goff could be a perennial backup quarterback right now, if it didn't work out in Detroit. But Detroit built around Jared Goff. They got 2 running backs. They drafted Sam Laporta, which Sam Laporta being drafted was probably the best thing. Like that was, I don't think nobody thought that they was going to get this out of Sam Laporta after they traded TJ Hawkinson inside of the division, right? Their offensive line is one of the best offensive lines in the league. So they really started in the trenches. Then you get the Wright St. Brown when you got him. I think it was the 4th round.
You said the Wright St. Brown?
Yeah, the Wright St. Brown.
Yeah, right, because we have the wrong St. Brown.
We got the wrong St. Brown.
We got the wrong St. Brown.
Bears got the wrong St. Brown. They got the right St. Brown. Me and them nicknames. And then defensively, Aiden Hutchinson was a good pick. The defensive, they had issues with the defensive backfield. They really fixed that and stuff like that. Linebacker, of course, hella decent. Was Alex Elazone, have you pronounced somebody in his name? But you be hearing his name every game, all game, getting to the ball, and everything. They're the team. Even when they did what they did last year, I was skeptical. But that's the way that you build a team nowadays. And I'm really jealous of what's going on in Detroit. So yeah, they won.
Dante, you can get your McCaskey discussed off real quick.
Yeah, bro. I mean, I've been talking about this for years. I don't want to get too negative. We ain't gonna do that. But I
have nothing to say about the McCaskies. They're amazing people.
No, I'm sure they're beautiful people. One of my homies who tailgate all the time, she say George be walking through the fucking lots. Like I believe it. But you saw when they said they wanted to change. They wanted to do something different. They were tired of being the laughing stock of the league, and that's exactly what they did. So with any sport, I've come to this realization a long time ago, which is why I'm so nonchalant about a lot of this shit. If your ownership don't get it, you're not gonna get it. That's just the way it is. It's just how it is. And the Lions have done it the right way. I know people clowned them for drafting the running back 12th overall, but you can do that when you've built up your offensive line, you have your quarterback, and now you're just adding the best player available. So they had a formula, they stuck to it, and they've done a complete 180 from being the laughing stock of the league. And it's unfortunate for us. While I do believe, like you said, windows open and close very quickly.
And we had the niggas beat for 7.5 quarters.
Yeah, we could say that year after year for a lot.
Yeah,
of
7
shit.
and 3
But
quarters.
it's loser shit, but I'm gonna stand on this loser shit.
7
yeah,
and 3 quarters.
I'll let y'all do that.
Yeah, see,
I'll
and
let y'all do that.
this my take is on this whole thing. I feel like Bang right now. Don't nobody give a damn about the Detroit Lions except
Well,
for
there's no
and
warmth in your heart.
also y'all, because you're like, oh yeah, the Lions hit, yeah, that's cool. Okay, so like, what y'all having for dinner? Like that, like that's how I feel. I'm sorry, like they don't really move the needle for me. It's a great story and all, and like objectively, it's fantastic. I just don't care.
So yeah, I mean, yeah. So there's no warmth in your heart about this story.
Not even a little. I mean, like listen, but it's not the people's fault, right? It's the media and how they find the new thing every week, week to week, and latch onto it. If I gotta see this 66-year season ticket holder on my
the old nigga, yeah.
Fuck out of here.
You know what's fucked up? When they did like they did
mediocrity for that long, that's crazy.
They did it. Well, I can't laugh too hard. That's gonna be me. But this is the part that I was like, damn, that's sad. With like the dude in like the pregame montage, whatever. He's like, yeah, my dad told him to bury him in a Lions jacket. I'm like, damn, nigga, like you went down with a Lions jacket. Like, come on, dog. Like, I love the Bears, but nigga, no. Like, think good things when I'm gone. Don't think about the Bears.
No, just put a Bears cap in your casket so they can let you down one more
right,
time.
Exactly. Let me down one last damn time. Exactly. But just a super quick question. We ain't got to spend a lot of time, like 2 minutes. Baker Mayfield, Buccaneers had a better season than anybody thought they would. Granted, they're in the NFC South, arguably the worst division in football. But the way they stepped up, won 9 games, won the division. This is a team that had like 3 wins in like December. Came back, had a great December 1. Baker Mayfield had a pretty good season. Do you think that he's finally found a home in Tampa? Like, what do you think? Like the future of Baker is? I'm gonna go to Dante first on what you think about Baker this year.
I definitely think he's found a home. I think one thing we let go under the radar in Cleveland, he was hurt. Bro hurt his shoulder. So, and obviously, like we do all the time, when you like certain players more than you like others, you tend to take their side. So we all just immediately say, yeah, bro, you wasn't using Odell right. It's your fault. You trash. And we did that for a few years, but he's finally in a place where they played to his strengths. Again, Carolina, we've seen over the last few years was a complete shit show. So, he's in a place with a quality offensive coordinator who's been getting a lot of interviews. We'll see what happens with that situation. But I think, Baker's definitely found a home. And he'll be here in this mediocre division winning, 8 or 9 games as long as they keep talent around him.
Courtney, you are a fan of a team in the NFC South. What did you see from Baker this year? Anything? You said, fuck him.
Like, we were not that far away or far removed from winning the division in the same week. So like, listen, I'm thrilled for him. I do think, yes, he has found a wonderful home in the island of misfit toys down there in Tampa Bay. But Mike Evans is gone, right? We can assume that he's gone. He's a free agent, ain't he?
Yeah, he's a free agent. I would like to see him at 1920 football draft.
And I think Chris Godwin is locked in, right?
Yeah, they signed Godwin.
Yeah, he's locked in. So yeah, good for him.
There's 2 people on the Bucs I like to see on the Bears. Obviously, Mike Evans, but Antoine Winfield.
We should have drafted, but
AKA Derwin Ding Dong Davis. Don't he look like Derwin from?
He does look like Derwin.
He look just like Derwin. Bang, what you think? What you saw from Baker this year? And do you think he finally, found the situation?
Yeah, he found a home for now. Yeah, man. Get that man a 1-year deal worth, whatever $1 million, and let's see if he do this shit again. Because, to Courtney's point, Mike Evans is an unrestricted free agent, and you're probably not going to be able to afford him. In fact, they have a number of big name free agents. Like they damn near their whole big name roster, part of the roster, are free agents this year. So, I am a little worried that they're not going to have the talent that they have on that team currently right now, which will tell the story about him just being a guy and stuff like that. I do think they need to draft another quarterback, not saying in the first 2 rounds or whatever. But definitely look at somebody on day 3 and maybe build them up or see what you can get with Kyle Trask or whatever. But I don't think that Baker Mayfield found a long-term home. I think, even when he got drafted, I didn't think that Baker Mayfield, no disrespect to him, but I didn't see Baker Mayfield as somebody other than a journeyman quarterback, somebody that you're going to look at their card and you're going to see a whole bunch of random ass spots for him to play at. So
this didn't do it for
Yeah,
you.
and that cringeworthy dance,
No.
which was hilarious when Amon-Ra did the dance. Yeah, Amon-Ra did the dance in the infield in the end zone. I like that. That's just pretty funny. We got 2 more topics we're gonna go through before we wrap this up. And as you see on the screen, subscribe to the Patreon, subscribe to the $5 tier of I'm Not Gonna Hold You Barber Share All Access. So we're gonna be having overtime. My brother Flows, one half of 7 at the Hallis, he will be joining us. We'll be all Bears Central for 45 minutes in that one. That's going to be an interesting conversation. That should be available on the Patreon around 8:30 Eastern time. I usually upload it right after we get done recording. So check all of that out, man. But I want to get into a conversation about what, we were just talking about. The conversation that I kind of feel like we started on overtime on Friday, and we didn't really have time to go fully into it, about different ways to win in the NFL by, just having a guy or having the franchise guy. And I think that's the story of both conferences right now. The NFC is just a guy. The NFC is the buddy ass conference of the NFL. That's exactly what they are. AFC got all the top dogs. You got everybody over there. So there's different ways of winning. Both ways work. Now, I don't know. We can go up here and go through the list of Super Bowl winners and have an argument about, which ones worked more and which ones are more effective. Now, obviously, when you have the franchise guy and you pay him like a franchise guy, you're not going to have the cap relief and be able to build a better team as in, like the other, like just the guy conversation would be. Dante, I want to go to you first. Now, I don't think there's any right way to win a championship, but you can use this as just from an outside perspective, even from a Bears perspective. Which one do you think is more effective, and which one do you prefer out of having a franchise guy or just a guy as far as trying to win a championship?
Well, I'm gonna be realistic because you have some franchise guys who still need everything around them to be right. So, like, as far as I'm concerned, like in our current game, Pat is the only one who is just, it don't matter who you put out there with him, he gonna get it done. As much as we love Joe Burrow, we gotta be realistic. We've never seen Joe Burrow do anything without talent around him. When he was at Ohio State, he wasn't the same Joe Burrow that was at USC with all that NFL talent and put up the numbers that he put up. When he's been, LSU. When he's been in Cincinnati, he's had Jamar Chase, he's had T. Higgins, he's had Joe Mixon. It's been talent around him. So even, with him being as good as he is and he is elite, he still had the talent. So I think Pat is that guy. I think we saw Tom at times be that guy. But I think for the most part, in order for your quarterback to be successful, you have to have talent on the roster, flat out. Like, that's the only way this shit works. There isn't a guy the same back in the day where you're going to just take a quarterback who has a cannon arm and, he makes it happen. Because prime example, we weren't talking, even though we all still have our issues with him, we weren't talking about Josh Allen being elite until he got Stephen Diggs. They was trying to run his ass up out of there. Then when he finally got receivers around him, things changed. The conversation changed. So you got to put people around these quarterbacks. So in terms of which one works more, I would say just a guy, just off the strength that there aren't that many true elite franchise, I'm going to go get it no matter who's out there kind of guys. That shit don't happen no more.
That's a fair rebuttal. I like nice things, and I want a franchise quarterback. Like that's just pretty much what I'm at with it. I think it's a real toss up of which one works more, because if Tom Brady's the perfect situation, if he had a good situation around him, but he was also that nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's also that.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. I'm not
Manning.
Yeah, I'm not saying your franchise guy. The only way to be a franchise guy is if you can win with any situation. Like, you still need shit around you, but in terms of being that quote unquote guy where it don't matter, it's only one of those. It's Patrick Mahomes. We can't, like we said last week, we've said it a lot. You can't let the outliers drive the conversation. Like that elite person is not going to be every single quarterback. It's not possible.
Patrick Mahomes' QB evaluation is similar to the Steph Curry conversation in the NBA of where everybody's shooting 3-pointers. You niggas can't shoot like him. Okay, there's one Steph Curry. Just because Steph Curry can shoot from the logo, just because Steph Curry can shoot 16 threes and make 9 of them, don't mean that Buddy Hield need to be doing that shit. So I definitely think it's the same thing with that. Courtney, which one do you think is more effective? Which one do you personally prefer?
I mean, I don't think teams would make such a big deal out of having to have and draft a franchise quarterback if it wasn't, in my opinion, the most important part of the game. I think we're a little far removed from the days where you can kind of just plug anybody back there, and they'll be successful. You know, we saw a couple of flashes of greatness this season in doses. Jake Browning was great, and one could argue he's just a guy. I'm not even going to throw Tommy DeVito in that same conversation, but that was fun when it happened. No, I think you need a dude back there. I think you need a guy, not just a guy, but you need the guy.
I agree with you on that one. Bang, which one you think is more effective? Which one you prefer?
See, I think this is a convoluted conversation. The reason why I think so, because there's only to me 2 to 3 elite quarterbacks in the league, and that's Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, and Joe Burrow. And if you want to add Josh Allen in there, then you could do that too.
No, but you're right, Bang. I completely agree with you. There's not that many great quarterbacks, but like, keep in mind, all of those guys that you just mentioned are on relatively successful teams.
No, that's where I was going.
Yeah.
I actually was going in that direction. Their teams are successful, but you also look at what's been built around them too. Like when you look at the teams, even when they got to the teams, like when Patrick Mahomes got to the team, he got to a team that had Tyreek Hill on there already. He came onto a team that had Travis Kelce on there. And their offensive line was even better than the offensive line they got now, right?
They had to retool that O-line.
Yeah, like the only thing that's different, excuse me, is the defense is a lot better than it was. Lamar Jackson, we talked about him earlier, how he had his issues coming in. He didn't necessarily have a team on the offensive side that was built for him. Joe Burrow came in with in the next year, I think it was the next year they got Jamar Chase. It was like, so when you got Jamar Chase, you got T. Higgins, you got Boyd. And the issue that they had with him coming in is the offensive line. And then you got Josh Allen, they had to go get Stephon Diggs. So even the names that we just named right there had to get assets on the team or already had assets on the team in order for them to be great. This is, to keep it a buck, let's be real, man, to keep it a buck, even when it comes to like the Peyton Manning days and all that stuff, there's only to me been 2 quarterbacks that has done a lot with wide receivers that you just did not know they existed. And that's Donovan McNabb and Tom Brady. Because Donovan McNabb was still out here winning and going to NFC Championship games without Terrell Owens as his quarterback, as his wide receiver. So I think either way it go, you still have to build a team around greatness to get there and to sustain it. And I also believe that because, and we're probably going to talk about this a little bit later, because of the rookie scale, and I actually talked about this a little last week, that with the rookie scale, everybody's thirsty to try to win something within the first 3 or 4 years of that contract, because that's what happened with Pat Mahomes. But outside of Pat Mahomes winning within the first 3 years of him being in the NFL and being on that rookie scale contract, how many people that you see win? Joe Burrow go to the Super Bowl while on a rookie scale contract. I think people have relied on that rookie scale thing to be thirsty to get something real quickly, and also to make these other people elite and say they're gonna do this and do that and all of that stuff. Russ too. So I think, and I said this last Friday, there's been more just the guys who have won a Super Bowl than it has been elite quarterbacks. It's just that the elite quarterbacks, Patrick Mahomes, Tom Brady, has just won more than everybody else. So you can win with just a guy, because actually those elite people are outliers more than they are the common thread.
Here's the thing with the elite too, though. Like, yeah, with the just a guy, they can win like a year, like 1 year. But even if you're not, let's just say, I know you're not going to win a Super Bowl every year, but with a franchise guy, you'll be in contention every year. Now, whether you win or not, NFL is a flip of a coin, but you'll be in it every year if you got to at least have a shot to be in it every year off a franchise guy. If you just got to just a guy, you can win the championship 1 year, and then you might never hear from them niggas again after that because you just caught lightning in a bottle. And now I know this is definitely a different comparison. If you look at like the 2005 White Sox, that was not a team that had superstars on it. Like you can every other team that was in like the NLCS that year were way better rosters, but the White Sox had the better team and kind of like had lightning in a bottle with a team of just full of guys. So I do feel like yes, there's pros. I'm not saying which one is more effective. Me personally, I got shiny toy syndrome. I want the franchise quarterback.
But you got to realize, like, again, like the outliers aren't realistic. Like it's just not, no matter how much you want it to be. And like having a guy who, prime example, I just talked about the 49ers. We've seen them go to the Super Bowl with Cap. We've seen them go to the Super Bowl with Garoppolo, and they could potentially be on their way to the Super Bowl with Brock Purdy. And you know, when he was in his prime, Cap was he was elite, but he wasn't a superstar quarterback. But you got to the Super Bowl with him, and you were always in contention with him on that team. So I think a lot is just really about that complete package. And I think a lot of teams are realizing that now. And that's why you're seeing the teams that are actually good, the teams that are contending for years, they mirror up that general manager, head coach, QB coach, you know, OC, like that. All of those things are aligned, and everybody's on the same page, and that's how you get that success. So I agree. Don't get me wrong. It would be amazing to draft a Tom Brady type, or you know, get somebody like that. But
But the Tom Brady type, I mean, the Tom Brady,
yeah. So like,
never let you forget it.
Yeah, if you really want to be real about Tom Brady wasn't like Tom Brady to like.
That's lightning in the bottle, yeah. But even still, that's lightning in the bottle. So give me a guy that can get this team to the
and that's a good point too, because Tom Brady was the guy the first 3 championships, and he was beating the franchise guy in Peyton Manning every goddamn year. So that's
smoking them.
You're smoking them too. Like that's I have no counterpoint for that.
It just goes to show you never know who you're gonna get, whether it's the last pick of the draft like Brock Purdy, or you know it's the number 1 pick like Caleb Williams to the Chicago Bears this year. Crazy stuff.
Courtney has been an asshole right now. I can smell sarcasm a mile away. It's my second language.
Sorry.
We're gonna go to our last topic. It was right there. I get it. It was a layup. It was hard to pass that up. We're gonna go to our last topic once again. Subscribe to the Patreon. We're getting ready to record. I'm not gonna hold you overtime. My brother Flows, 1/2 of 79th and Hollis, will be joining us. We're going to be all Bears Central. We're going to talk about how far are the Bears from actual contention. What do we think about the new offensive coordinator hiring in Shane Waldron? And we're also going to be talking about 2 other things. Do Bears fans ignore Justin Fields' flaws? And also another chaos bomb we throwing in there, the wild card, Drake May. As Bang like say, content is king. We're going to picture a world that Drake May is quarterback of the Bears, and the world makes you want to fucking vomit. We're going to talk about that. I'm not going to hold you overtime, so subscribe, patreon.com/Barbershop Network. But last topic of the show, we're going to be talking a lot more NBA over these next couple of weeks. Obviously, we've only got 3 more games left in the NFL, unfortunately, but we're getting ready to get into the time of the year where I actually pay attention to the NBA. I pay attention to the NBA really after All-Star break. Like, I know what's going on. For those of you who say, well, you can't talk about the NBA. You said yourself. You don't watch it. I watch it. Much like I'm paying attention. Now, I don't have kids, but Bang, let me know if this comparison is spot on. It's kind of like when, like, if you watching your kids, but you ain't really watching your kids. Like, you know they're in the room playing. Like, you can see them. But you ain't really fully paying attention. You're like, oh, this nigga got a remote in his hand. And then, like, when you really pay attention, that's how the NBA is to me. Like,
that's me when I'm doing a podcast.
Right. It's like I'm looking, but it's like, oh shit, nigga, the Bulls the number 1 seed. Like when I pay attention.
And now you wonder why I can't watch it. I tried so hard. Like I got the subscription, I got the pass, I used the full trial, and then I even got charged for it. Okay, because I forgot to cancel my subscription.
You are not alone.
And again, I used to love basketball. I used to genuinely look forward to watching the NBA. And other sports just grabbed my attention and kept my attention. And listen, I'm a Memphis Grizzlies fan. We said it before, we even got on today. Ja Morant was supposed to be the next guy. And he's Dante said he's up here acting like Pistol Pete, which is correct. So disappointing. So disappointing.
And you're right. I feel like that's the problem. This is the thing too. I know it's just not me because I talked to other people who I know who are basketball fanatics, like at these Clippers games. And shout out my man Pat. Pat don't watch nothing but basketball, and he was like, it's bad hoops. And what pisses me off, there's so much young talent. Like if we're just going off young talent, this is the most young talent we've ever seen in the NBA. But the question I'm gonna pose to y'all is, when is this next talent going to take the leap to when they're in the big game, in the finals, in the conference finals, and like we're actually paying attention to them? We can stop talking about what LeBron's doing in year 22. We can stop talking about what Steph Curry is doing in year 15 or what KD is doing in year 17. Those are the old heads. Like we sitting up here, people arguing about what's wrong with the Lakers. LeBron, nigga, that's what's wrong. Like it's nothing bad. LeBron is playing well for his age. Anthony Davis is actually playing well too, but they're nigga. Like when is the thing the NFL has that is amazing right now? You have made the perfect transition from the Tom Brady era, from the Peyton Manning, the Ben Roethlisberger, and guys like that who are winning, and you moved right into the Mahomes, the Burrow, the Allen, and Lamar. The NBA still has that problem. So I'm gonna go to Dante first. Do you think it's like is there anything the NBA can do, or what can we do to make, with all the attention they got, we should be entertained more when it comes to having more superstars?
It's just nothing they can do. In terms of the conversation, that's the media's fault that they still talk about LeBron and these big names. They haven't actually tried to put the effort forward to push these new guys. That's number one. But the real issue, and a lot of people blame Steph, but I blame the coaches, is because once we went to positionless basketball, everybody plays the same. So one thing about our era, you had guys like, I don't like mentioning these.
You had 3-point specialists. Not everybody got you.
Not only that, but you had like Stockton and Malone, who when you played Utah, you knew they were going to be physical and do pick and roll. When you played Indiana, you knew they were going to be running the fucking round. Reggie, Sam Perkins, Mark Jackson getting assists. Like it was different play styles that teams had. Now you get up here, they're going to tip the ball off. Everybody's going to run back and forth and shoot up as many threes and try to get as many layups as possible. So like, what the game is, and that shit like is boring, bro. And like when you get a really good team versus a really bad team, or one thing that I always know, every NFL game, every NBA game you watch these days, I guarantee you there's going to be a 12-0 swing at some point. Somebody's going to be up by 10 to 12 points. Next thing you know, their ass is losing by 6. Like it goes without fail every game, because you're strictly just, to the analytic people's point, that's the whole point of taking these shots in this amount of volume, because 3 is more than 2. So you're going to sit here, you get cold, I get hot. Then we're going to flip it this quarter. And it's just, that shit is not as entertaining as when you will watch two different styles actually clash against each other and say, okay, who's going to win? Like I remember back when we were shorties, like one of the things about the East versus the West, when it came to the All-Stars, it was two completely different styles of ball.
Two styles of different ball.
And so when they came to hoop, it was like, oh shit, they finna try to slow it down. They finna try to run. So now you don't get none of that.
Yeah, the West was more flashy. East was, gritty, defensive style basketball. You know what I'm saying? That's the difference. What are you saying, Courtney?
What I was just saying is, and again, as someone who like really didn't watch a whole lot of basketball before I started, before I started, doing the show with you guys, because I knew I was like, once football season ends, I'm gonna have to figure out what the hell's going on with basketball. These young dudes, say what you will about the old guys still give me a reason to want to watch. I think it's incredible that in year 17 and year 20 plus that these dudes are still able to do what they're doing. But I mean, like you said earlier, Scott, the reason why, the NFL had that natural transition from Brady and those guys into like Mahomes is because Mahomes was successful early. It's easy to sell someone when they have success relatively early into their career. I'm not interested in watching Oklahoma City.
That's very true. And Oklahoma City has a fun team. But the fact that last week when I did the Clipper game, that's the first time I saw them niggas hoop front to back. And I was like, oh, it's a good team. But then they got like, Kawhi had this nigga Shea on the island. Like, Chet had his worst performance of the year. So I do feel like it's something you said, Dante, and I'm going to go to Bang and then we'll wrap this up. It's the media too. The media aren't trying to talk about other stories. We keep talking about what's wrong with the Lakers. When the Warriors gonna break up. Does Kevin Durant got anything left in him? Let's put more shine on the guys. You know what I'm saying? Let's put more shine on what they're doing in Indiana. You know what I'm saying? They got a team on the rise. Put more shine on what they're doing. Yeah, I know it's laughable because it's small ass markets, but that's what you got to do. Like, we need to be talking more about Anthony Edwards and things like that. And also, and I love Inside the NBA. I don't watch Inside the NBA for basketball knowledge. I know that. But the fact that you got Shaq and Charles Barkley up here saying, oh, we don't even watch this shit. Or if there's a game that Ernie's promoting, and Charles, I don't watch America. Don't sit up here and waste your time watching Wolves and Grizzlies. And the fact if you got the media saying that, the average fan is going to be like, oh, I don't want to watch that shit. You know what I'm saying? Because 9 times the average fan didn't grow up on them. We grew up on, Shaq Charles. So we know them niggas are strolling. We know they haven't watched periods. So I feel like it's a whole bunch of things with it. But Bang, bring us home on this, man. What you think about the superstar problem that the NBA has?
The superstar problem is that the NBA is just not like they used to when they created superstars. And the NBA is still relying on the OGs. They're still relying on LeBron James. They're still relying on Steph Curry, Kevin Durant, et cetera, et cetera. At the end of the day, these dudes are in the twilights of their careers, no matter if you want to believe it or not. They're just not as good as creating people, but I also believe the media or the way we watch the games are part of the reason for that. That's why, even though I wasn't a fan of it at the beginning of it, but, it's not a surprise that after the end season tournament, shit that went dark.
Drop. Yeah,
the quality drop. People was actually trying to win that shit, for the bread, along with trying to be the first. But the quality plummeted right after that. It's bad.
Quick
but
too, the next day.
Yeah, it was just all right, this shit over with. It's time to rest. So I think I hate to be this guy because I hate to hear it when people say it, but I blame the AAU culture. The culture of it, because the reason the names that the teams, let's forget the names, because I laughed when you said the Indiana Pacers, but who was the Bulls' chief rival at some point? It was the Pacers. It was Reggie Miller. It was Chuck Person, Rick Smiths, Detlef Schrempf, Derek McKee at one point, Anthony and Dale Davis. You see all those names that I named from a small market team.
Yeah, the Davis boys. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's also how you watch the game. And I think the NFL better be careful about this too. Okay. Because the one thing that you used to be able to see on the NBA is free. And I know people be like, oh man, you can't watch them on you got to watch the game on Peacock. Well, look, ladies and gentlemen, I remember a time where the game was on the Bulls game. You could see them on Channel 9, WGN Channel 9. And you could just turn your TV, whether it was remote or on the dial to Channel 9 and watch the TV.
Problem in general.
And that's the sports problem. Everybody is getting to the point where so much stuff going on where it's like, damn, where I'm gonna be able, I even care about watching this until the playoffs? Like I told y'all, for me, NBA started during Christmas. But then who are the rivalries, fam? Where?
Yeah, and this is doing rivalry week. So this week.
Yeah, where's the rivalries? We talking about Anthony, right? We talking about Anthony, but who's Ant's chief rival? Who is the person? Who is the person that when he go up against somebody, we want to see that? Matter of fact, I learned today because I wasn't paying attention. But we was on a program director meeting, and you say what?
I'm glad you admitted that.
But we was on a program director meeting today, and young lady was on the meeting. Was like, yo, I'm going to my first 76ers game today, and somebody was like, oh yeah, they playing San Antonio today. It's Embiid versus Victor Wembanyama. Why the fuck is that shit?
We didn't know that.
Right. One, I was like, wait a minute. Who? When? I didn't believe it. I'm like, nah, somebody lying, fam, because ain't nobody gonna not talk about this game when it comes to the best player in the league right now versus, you know what I'm saying, the
This young
upstart.
nigga who's living up to everything.
Like, yeah. So, like, if this was just a couple of years ago, you will see so many vignettes. It would be NBA Today would be talking about this. This is a Twin Towers game too. Old school NBA leads you to the two big men going toe to toe, and ain't nobody talking about it. I ain't even seen it nowhere. ESPN didn't even flash though. I can't wait for this matchup. So they're not even doing a good job at that part. But there's no rivalries. There's no teams that hate each other. There's no one-on-one games that we talk about.
Bring back the violence.
Which is why I liked what we saw from the Pacers and the Bucks this year. Like, I like that kind of shit.
Yeah,
you know like we need more of that. And I know we sound like old heads. I'm pretty sure people gonna watch this video.
Scott.
Who's like these old niggas up
No, Scott. What we're not gonna do is take that, because here's the thing. The old NBA is the reason why the NBA exists.
Yeah.
I be joking when I be throwing random ass shit in the damn chat and then be like, content is king. But that's how the NBA became the NBA. The shit was on goddamn tape delay. Content is king, goddamn Larry Bird versus Magic Johnson. Content is king is Larry Bird versus Isaiah Thomas. Magic Johnson versus Isaiah Thomas. Content is king, Michael Jordan versus the Lakers. I could continue going and going and going and going and going.
The way, like you said, the way that their media was covered. We knew when Bob Costas did a game, he was gonna talk about that shit like the fate of the world was on the line. Bob Costas is the reason I knew big words at a certain age. This nigga was
what my man Slim Charles say?
The thing about the old days.
It's the old days. And that's and the crazy thing about what you just said, Courtney, is this. The thing about the old days is the old days. But guess what, though? The old days are still more popular than the goddamn new days. You can see all this 90s cosplay just in culture in general. So you're 100% right. It's just that the shit's still more popular. Anthony Edwards versus Ja Morant, but Ja Morant is hurt. So somebody was supposed to replace him in that. Like, and there's not that. And the NBA, like, fam, even with the theme songs, fam, forget the NBA on NBC. I used to sing the TBS theme song with the commercials. TBS, like there. I'm basically also blaming
Amar Rashad.
I'm also blaming marketing for this, because there's no Amar Rashad. Rest in peace. There's no Stuart Scott. They broke up the goddamn best announcing team in the NBA with Mark Jackson, Mike Breen, and Jeff Van Gundy.
For no reason.
Right. The only thing we have is inside stuff. Like Kevin, like, who's the fucking Marv Albert of this shit? Like Kevin Harlan. But Marv Albert made shit so smooth, that motherfucker be like, over the foul limit. Like over the foul limit. We don't have none of that no more. So if I'm Adam Silver, I'm getting all of my marketing people in the boardroom and all of my TV in the boardroom, all of my TV people in the boardroom is like, yo, how can we not only market the players, but the matchups and the teams? Because the one thing about the old days is that we actually did care about the Minnesota Timberwolves. We actually cared about the Indiana Pacers. We cared about the small market teams, because those teams were still going to the playoffs and doing that thing. And right now, who's interested in the NBA fan right now? Like, who?
Not that dude named Chet. I tell you that.
And I say this last.
He's nice though.
He's nice. This last thing I'll say too. You say who's gonna be challenging Anthony Edwards? It should be Shea. But that nigga he just hoop, but he don't care about like competing. Like that shit he put in All-Star game. Don't even get me started on that shit, man. Like,
but bro, he's a fashionista, and it speaks to one of these points that also a lot of these young niggas, they consume media different. So like when you got the TV deals and you got streaming, you got one of the reasons they go so hard for these deals to get the bill. That's how the salary cap goes up and all that other shit. But they know that these kids, like for example, my little brother, bro, be on his phone watching clips, streaming shit. Like that's what all of the younger generation is doing. So it's like they have to figure out a way to reach them, because at this point, like you said, we always gonna sound like the old niggas that just complaining.
We gonna sound like the old niggas in the
but
club,
like no, they have to reach those guys and then figure out who is that next generation, and stop drowning everybody with LeBron content, Steph content,
Steph,
KD. Like, why are we talking about KD GOAT conversation, bro? We let that shit die years ago. Shut up. Like, what are you talking about? Like, no.
As Vane said, he's Brutus the Barber Beefcake. We're not talking about KD. But that's all we got for y'all today on this edition of I'm Not Gonna Hold You. Shout out to everybody watching us, everybody on YouTube, everybody on Twitter, everybody on Instagram Live. We appreciate each and every last one of y'all viewing. You can subscribe to the Patreon, patreon.com/Barbers Chair Network. Man, we about to record I'm Not Gonna Hold You overtime. Me, Bang, Dante, Flows. We're gonna get into some real Chicago Bears talk. That should be up on the Patreon around 8:30 Eastern. I usually upload it right after we get done recording, man. So we appreciate y'all. I'll be back on Wednesday when I'm Not Gonna Hold You halftime, getting to all of the midweek news going on. And then, of course, Friday on the Friday show, we will preview Championship Sunday, man. We almost at the end of this thing, man. So for me, Scott, you want to follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Barberchair Scott. You can follow the Barberchair Network at Barberchair Net, and follow Courtney 1-800-CALLER-BRO. Follow JR Bang at JR Bang on all platforms, and follow Dante on Twitter at OctoberZoneTay. We'll holler at y'all later this week. We up out of here.